What is up, everybody? We are going to do some amazing hip stretches today. These are some of my absolute favorites. I'm really excited to walk you through them. These are stretches that are going to open up your inner groin, the front of your hip flexor, your glutes, your low back. We're really just going to try to hit this thing from all angles, and these are some of the best stretches you can do it with. Today, as we've walked through the video, don't feel a need to jump from one stretch into the other in a rush. What we're going to do is we're going to have 30 seconds before every stretch where we're going to slowly get into position, and I'm going to explain some of the things to make that stretch even better. So you'll be in position when it's time for the next stretch to start anyways. So let's get into it. Our first stretch, we're going to focus on opening our legs up really wide. Once you're in this straddle stance, if you can go wider, feel free, move your legs around. But once we're here, one of the big things for us to focus on is keeping our legs nice and straight. If you can pick your heels up off the ground, that's a good thing. If you do that during the stretch, you're just going to stretch your hamstrings out even more. And while you're in the stretch, I want you to focus on dorsiflexing your feet, pulling your toes towards your knees. What this is going to do is it's just going to really make it so the stretch is way more effective. So as we get ready to start, we're going to go to the left. So I want you to reach and grab a hold of that foot. If you can get all the way over the top of the foot, that's wonderful. If you need to stay up here or just twist your chest this direction and that's all you got, start there. But reach as far as you can. If you can get the other hand in there, do it. And once we're in position, I want you to find where you're comfortable. Like I said, we want to feel a little burn. We want to pull those toes towards our face, and we really want to just lean to the side. Rotate your torso and lean this direction. And as we're deep into the stretch, like I said, go as far as you can. Make sure to bring the other hand in when you can. And if you can, and if you are flexible enough over time, start leaning into it like you're trying to reach your chest and your head for your leg. This will make it that much more effective. But wherever you feel comfortable, just stay right there. We're going to stretch this one out for another 10 seconds, and then we're going to move on to the other side. We're doing 1 minute each side on these, just one run through. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, rotate over to the other side. Same thing, go as far as you feel comfortable. If you need to have your hands on your shin, your kneecap, just rotate your body around and reach as far as you comfortably can. And once again, like if you can get that other hand over, grab that thumb, grab the other arm, or get all the way around the foot. And like I said, once you're in that position, feel free to lean into this stretch. We want to make sure that we are having an extremely effective pull on that hamstring. So making sure you're pulling those toes towards your face. Make sure you're leaning really good into it, and you're going to feel this one just light you up. This one is going to be burning your hamstring, and it's also going to be focused on really loosening up your groin. But make sure that that torso is staying rotated this direction. Make sure those toes are staying pulled towards the face. We got 10 more seconds, and keep pulling, just sit in it. This movement is going to loosen up your hamstrings amazingly. 3, 2, 1, you are finished. I love it. I love it. Now, let's get ready for the next movement. This is actually going to be one of my absolute favorite movements. What we're going to do is we're going to get onto our knees, and we're going to get onto all fours. What we're going to do is we're going to slowly spread these knees out as far as we comfortably can. It's probably a little bit farther than you think, but once you're here, get those knees out as far as you comfortably can, and we're going to get ready for the first stretch. What we're going to do first is we're going to bring our body down so we're on these forearms. And actually what I want you to really focus on doing at first is trying to arch your back, not round your back, arch your back. That's going to make the hips open up in this position so much more. So as we get into the stretch, arch our back, push our butt back, you're going to feel the inside of your groin just burning. One of the things we want to make sure we're doing in little pulses through this movement is squeezing the ground for a second. So think about you're trying to squeeze your thighs together against the ground. Hold it for a second and let it go again. Squeeze the ground. We're going to do this for another 20 seconds. So stay there, keep that back arched, push that butt back, and squeeze the ground. Let it go. Another squeeze and hold it. Hold that squeeze and let it go. And for this last 5 seconds, just really let it loosen up. So we're not going to get right out of the stretch. We're going to move into a different position. What I want you to do is get up a little higher And now I want you to round your back. You're gonna feel your groin push forward a little bit. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna start stretching out a different muscle in the inside of your hip. So you might feel this one be a little uncomfortable. Maybe your knees are a little too wide for this compared to the other one. Just bring your knees in a little bit, wherever you feel comfortable. But now we're focusing on rounding the back. Flex your glutes if you can. If you have the ability to flex your glutes, this would be a really good opportunity to do that. It'll help stretch the groin out even more. But we're gonna just sit here and let this one loosen us up. No need to squeeze the ground at all on this one. No need to do any of those pulses. Just focus on sitting in this one. We have about 15 seconds left. Just sit there. We got 5 seconds left. Oof. And you're done. And you're done. We are going to move into our next movement. Our next movement, we're gonna get ourselves in position, sit on the floor, first and foremost, and just sit with your knees at a 90-degree angle. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start on our left side, is we're just gonna let these hips fall to the side. It's gonna put us in a nice figure 4 stretch. I usually like to push this foot a little farther forward. And what we can do here as we get into these stretches is we can just let our body rotate and fall over this knee right here. Here we go. We're gonna fall over this knee. Obviously put your hands on the floor if you need it, but your goal should be to get your chest to your knee and try to get your chin about 6 inches from the floor. If this is too tight, remember, just lean into it where you can. You can start up here, you can move down, you can put an arm on top of the leg, but try to get yourself as far into it as you feel comfortable. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna soak in the stretch for a little while. We're just gonna lean into it and just let it loosen us up. One thing to emphasize here that will get you a lot better stretch is think about pushing that glute we're stretching, pushing that hip backwards. We'll just stretch that glute even more. So we're just gonna keep soaking in this position. We got about 15 seconds left. Just lean a little deeper. Get your chest all the way down to your leg or as close as you can get, and just lean into it. 3 seconds left. 2, 1. We are going to rotate back to the middle, and then we're going to rotate off to the other side. And that same thing, rotate our torso and just fall into this stretch. We're going to just rotate to this side, and we're going to just fall into this stretch. Once you're down, same thing, as far as you feel comfortable. Put your hands down and lean as far as you can. Get down onto one forearm. Take the arms completely out of it, wherever you feel comfortable. Just trying to touch your chest to that knee. We're gonna hold this stretch. As we're in this stretch, remember, if we think about that glute we're stretching, in this case the right leg, if we push our back that direction, we push our glute that direction, we'll find that stretch gets a little bit deeper, and we really just want to sink into this pocket. Whew. It's a tight one. We have 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. This next stretch is going to open up the front of your hip like crazy. So what we're going to focus on to get into position first is we're going to step with our feet together. I'm going to take one very large big step forward. Once we're here, our goal is going to be to get our hands down here and then bend this front leg. Once we have this front leg bent, we're basically in position right here where we stand. So what you're going to focus on is squeezing this glute of that back hip and just leaning into it. Here we go. As we get into this 1 minute hold here, there is a lot of different ways you can take this to make this a little bit harder. You can put your right hand up on top of this leg and push your torso up a little bit. If you have it in you, you could completely just go onto this front leg and you could just sit here and let this hip stretch out. Make sure you're keeping this glute tight. But for those of you who can't get all the way in that position, keep your hands down here. It's great. Think about keeping that knee right outside that shoulder, straightening that back leg, flexing that back glute, and you're just gonna feel this hip on fire. Just gonna be ripping up and stretching the front of that hip so much. This one is so amazing. This is one of those stretches I have people do where they do it and they walk a little differently afterwards because, like I said, they don't realize how tight their hip flexors are. It's throwing off their stride. It's throwing off their gait so much. So we're going to hold this for another 5 seconds. It's going to be a very easy transition over. What we're going to do is we're going to step back into push-up position and step the other foot forward. That is the best way to switch this one up. So now you can see it from the angle you're at now. You can see this glute is also getting stretched right now. At the bottom of this hip, this hamstring tie-in, all that's getting stretched too. But I do need to focus on flexing this back leg, tightening this back glute. And like I said, if you can, get up on top of this knee. If you can, go all the way up and hold it. But if you need to, keep hands on the ground and just stay where you feel comfortable. We're loosening this hip up. This is one of our favorite ways to get the hips loose and just honestly get the gait of your walk really where it needs to be, because most people have such tight hip flexors they do not realize how much is messing up with their daily walking every day. A lot of people have clicking their hips, clicking their knees, and really it's just because this hip flexor is so tight, just yanking on the hip all day. We're going to soak in the stretch for 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And that's it. Those 4 stretches, you can run through this video again. I'd recommend it. 1, 2, 3 rounds even of this would be amazing. But these stretches alone, you should already feel, if you just move your legs around, if you move your hips around, you should feel very, very loose. If your goals are to get yourself into pancakes or deep side stretches or just feeling a lot more comfortable, make sure that you are doing this stretch video at least every other day. If you can do this stretch every other day, you will see massive improvements. And remember, doing 1, 2, or 3 rounds, this really can make it way more effective. So don't be shy about it. I would give yourself a rest day in between every single one of these that you do. But I have more stretching videos coming for you to do in those days in between, and I hope you guys really enjoy this. Love giving you guys these stretches. Love doing this stuff with you.